Template Anatomy. More template sections. Conditions. The optional conditions section contains statements that define the circumstances under which certain resources are created, configured, or assigned a value during stack creation or update. You can define conditions using intrinsic functions, such as the following. For example, you could create a resource when the condition that the stack is for a production environment is true. The equals intrinsic function is used to perform the comparison. Transform. The optional transform section specifies one or more macros that AWS CloudFormation uses to process your template. When you specify the AWS serverless transform macros, you can use AWS serverless application model, AWS SAM syntax, to declare resources in your template. AWS CloudFormation transforms and expands it into a compliant AWS CloudFormation template. For example, in the transform section, the AWS serverless macro is used, and the version of the AWS SAM is specified. Then the resources section declares a Lambda function and its execution code, using SAM syntax. You can also use the AWS include transform to work with template snippets that are stored separately from the main AWS CloudFormation template, such as an Amazon S3 bucket. You can then reuse the template snippets across multiple templates. In this example, the AWS include transform creates a reference to a template snippet in an Amazon S3 bucket. Resources. The required resources section declares the AWS resources that you want to include in the stack. You can refer to resources in the resources and output sections of the template. The logical ID is used as a logical name to reference the resource in other parts of the template. The resource type identifies the type of resource that you're declaring. You can specify a set of properties that are additional options for a resource. In this example, you specify an EC2 instance with a specific Amazon machine image AMI ID for that instance. Outputs. The optional output section describes the output values that are returned whenever you view your stack's properties. In this example, the EC2 instance ID value is returned. You can import the output value into other stacks, return in response, or view on the AWS CloudFormation console. Pseudo-parameters. Pseudo-parameters are parameters that are predefined by AWS CloudFormation. You can use pseudo-parameters to retrieve data, such as account ID, AWS region, the suffix for a domain, the partition that the resource is in, stack ID, stack name, and a list of notifications Amazon resource names for the stack. You can also use the no-value pseudo-parameter to remove resource property. Pseudo-parameter is used the same way as a parameter, or as the argument for the ref function.